Super cool.
This
You look
is one of
great.
those mornings
You look
where I
so
have,
amazing.
3 in a row. I know. I'm so excited to catch up and just talk one-on-one with you.
Okay.
Let me get my notepad ready. So how are you? How's your week?
1 second.
Okay.
I was working in the other room and left my notes in there. So, going good. I started my challenge this week and it's going great. So, I'm going live in my group every day and it's going really good. So
Good. Can I support you? I didn't join, but I'm happy to support you and share. It's already started though, you said.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's good. But thank you.
Okay. Cool. So so initially we connected like 2 weeks ago because I'm having, and I have it here. I got my book that you recommended. Yes. And you know what? I started reading it and I was like, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. And then Myron happened this weekend and I'm like, back to the beginning. You got to take notes differently.
Yeah, I know. So I started writing out all my notes from here. Really good.
I'm working on it. I think my biggest challenge, so I'm having, I think this world that we're in, the 2 Chemical X coaching world, like epiphanies happen to me like daily, which I think is great. It means I'm like pushing through, right? So my epiphany yesterday, I spoke with Eileen about her challenge, or her live event in more detail because I have been struggling. My primary is my agency, which I love, but what I really want to be doing full time is my Teampreneur Club.
Okay.
Teampreneurs. It's a 6-week master class that takes them from zero to launch. And it's basically, now that like I've seen the One Funnel Away challenge several times, it's kind of like that, but more specific in areas that teens don't have a lot of knowledge on, like marketing terms and stuff like that, kind of like prepping them. So it's going really well. I have 18 people going through it. I really want to be doing that all the time, but that was part of my money block was I can't see them paying for like these live events and this $25,000 a year coaching. And I hit that ceiling. And so Eileen mentioned yesterday, she's like, heck yeah, I would pay, because her son is already doing his own business and making money. And part of it was that validation, but I also had this epiphany that I have to figure out how to be able to do more of what I'm really loving right now and letting the agency kind of, so that was my epiphany last night. Like I have been dragging my feet for 10 days. Like I can't find any clients for my agency. I've been trying everything. And the reality of it is I haven't, because I really want to be doing this other thing.
I know.
So that was my epiphany last night. I was like, okay, so let's just call a spade and it's okay. So money ceiling is one thing I wanted to chat about, and then just be around your awesomeness, because you just are full packed of amazingness and how I can support you and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I love what you're getting at. I have some ideas. I'm going to grab my whiteboard.
Okay.
Because, what you're going through, I had the exact same problems. I named it. There we go. And that's basically who the heck would pay for this, right?
Right.
And what I did.
Oh, good catch.
In the back, and it just comes undone so easily. What I did. There we go. Oh, let's scoot around. Okay. What I did was I looked at my audience who got my gratitude journal app.
Okay.
And I'm like, they're all broke. Nobody's going to pay in there, right? And what was wrong is because I had that mindset, my messaging was wrong. And so I was going after the wrong people. So instead of going, I have to get everybody from my app, everybody, right? No, I'm going to start here with, who is this person? Who's that person? And how much does she earn? And where is she hanging out? Rather than, what am I going to give them? This is my little package. what does that look like? Start over here with who are they? Now, I am also reading Dan Kennedy's book about who are the wealthy or something like that, marketing to the wealthy.
Oh, yes.
I highly recommend that because when you read that, you'll discover that, okay, so here's my wealthy. Well, that one doesn't work. And I'm thinking they're kind of the same because they're going to be women. Women control the purse strings, right? And so it's going to be women. And they're going to be making over 100K. Okay, so what women are making over 100K? They probably have a college degree. They're probably in a job they loathe. And they want better for their kids, right? Those are probably, you're going to be able to hit that 90% of those women, right?
Yep.
You are one of them. I'm one of them. Even though I had my own agency, you had your own agency. It's like, I really don't want my kids to have to be doing this. I love that I'm my own boss, but this isn't how being your own boss should be.
Right.
Your own boss should start with this. Who do you want to work with? Not what are you going to give them, but who are you going to work with? And I think in 2CCX, we got a real, did you go to Phoenix?
I didn't, but I watched all the streaming live.
Okay, so Steven's exercise about who's your customer, what problems do they have, I think is a really good one that I'm going to go through again.
Okay.
So I have a big list. I have 40,000 on my list.
Wow.
And yeah, and in there's got to be at least 10 women that are making over 100K that are disgruntled. Now, here's for you, they want better for their kids. For me, they want better for themselves. That's probably the only difference between your audience and mine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now the hurdle isn't so much that, okay, there's nobody that exists. Because I'm sure, how many do you want? You want 10 of these women to start with, I think, would be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So we'll say we want 10 people. So which means you will find, let's say, if you close at 50%, or maybe, because what's going to happen is each time you don't close, you're going to get shit, nobody wants this. Right? And you're going to have to overcome that mental hurdle all over again. But, for 10 people, I would say let's shoot for 30 calls. I think then you'd find it. Okay? So for 30 calls, you need a list of about 100 women. I think if you had a list of 100 women, you'd definitely get 10 people.
Okay.
Okay, a list, or you have to get an audience. You have to get your story in front of 100 people. Start there. Or even start with, I'm going to get my story in front of 10 people so I can get one call, one close.
Absolutely.
Right? Scale it down. Because you could do 10 people in 1 week. You could probably come up with a list of 10 people. And now what Eileen did, now how far is your program?
How far?
Have you done it yet? Have you had people through it at all or anything like that?
Yes, I have 18 kids in it right now. 18,
and what's your price point?
$697.
$697. Oh, $697?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's for how long?
It's a 6-week master class, but they get an annual membership to the private Facebook page. as well. So
Okay, that's pretty good.
So what I found is, no, and I was talking with Eileen about this, none of my kids have finished. I launched last fall and none of them have finished. But
oh, good.
They love the process. And so Eileen's like, she's like, 2% of my people actually finish. It doesn't bother her. And so that was one of my ceilings. Like they're learning and they're growing and they come back to me with questions and, you know, so they're really happy. So, you know, I feel like they're not going to be happy if they don't finish, but that's not actually the case. So, so that's why I extended that annual Facebook group, because they're not finishing it in 6 weeks. And I don't want them to just be cut off and left without, you know, follow-up.
Okay, so you have how many people at 697?
I have 10 at 697. And then the other 8 were my beta testers.
Okay, okay. And testimonials, do you have any testimonials yet?
No.
Have you asked?
It's like pulling teeth. I have. In fact, I'm due for another round. I had like 5 people about a month ago say, yeah, absolutely. And follow up, nothing. So I'm going to do another.
Just get them on a call like this.
Okay.
And ask them questions. Okay. Because like if you, I learned this at just last Phoenix. I gave Eileen and I gave a quick impromptu talk about high ticket sales. And everybody was like, oh, I loved it. And I said, okay, will you give me a testimonial? Sure. And then it's me chasing them. But what I started to do instead was, great, boom, here's my phone. I'm going to record you right now. Just say whatever comes top of your head. Don't worry about it. Just anything. And
that's awesome. I love that.
Testimonials right then and there. So, so like be in their face. Like just get it because think of each one of those testimonials as $25,000.
It's true though, right?
It is because a testimonial will overcome their limiting beliefs quicker than anything. So, okay. So, but you have 10 people. And how many are active?
I have about 5 that are active weekly, and I have about 10 or 12 that are active, you know, every other week, checking in on.
Okay.
So.
And where are they? Are they all over the U.S.?
Yeah, and other countries too. I have someone in Ecuador.
Okay. So what if, I don't know what Eileen told you, but this is some thoughts. So what if, okay, that's a pretty low price point, but what if you gave them a free ticket because nobody's getting anything done. So they get 2 free tickets to an event because they need their mom there, right?
Yep.
The purse string holder, right? So they need two free tickets to this, $497 event. You could even do something like this, where instead of free, it's $497 each. But I'm going to give you just like, or maybe what it could be is it's $997 for the event, but I'm going to give you $900 back, so you only pay $97, and that you can use for your flights, the $900. So normally it's $1,000, but I'm going to give you most of that back, so you can pay for your flights. I don't know, because then they start thinking about, I got to pay for flights, I got to pay for hotel, like all that other stuff. But that's like one way to swing it.
Okay.
Think about it, or you could just do 2 free tickets, and they just pay like $47 for materials. Okay, so did Eileen go through this with you, having a live event?
No, we didn't talk about that.
Okay, so let me go through what that looks like then. I'm going to get some notes here because I just like talked to somebody else about this. And there's a few ways to do this, but okay, let me think about this. So you do all day teaching, and then what my coach said, 67 to 97 for all the materials, training, food, a shirt, you know, depending on how you want to do it. Like Myron is like 47, you get everything sort of deal. But if you wanted to do all that, and then he just orders Jimmy John's, he gets turkey sandwich with veggies, no mayo on the side. He has them cut up in halves, you know, like chips, coffee, nuts, whatever. And then here's what you teach at the mastermind. So you have session 1 goes from like 8:30 to 10:30. Okay? Then you have a break. And then you have session 2 goes from 11 to 12:30. And then you have a working lunch. And here you have them partner up with somebody while they work on assignments during the lunch. They have to get, that way they don't skedaddle.
Okay.
Okay. And then session 3 from 1:30 to 2:15, you could have a guest. And so the neat thing about the guest is it could be like something kind of related to the topic, you know, maybe, I don't know, whatever, YouTube or something, famous YouTuber. And that guest can also bring people for the whole workshop. So they're filling up seats as well for you. So you can say, look, you can be a guest, and guess what? I'll even give you 6 tickets for this workshop.
You typically pay the guest as a speaker or no? Just give them the ticket. You don't typically pay the guest speaker?
No, like Eileen got a friend, you know, like if you can get a friend, someone, it's always good for them to get on stage, you know, as long as there's an understanding, like I'm going to close a high ticket and they're not trying to close a high ticket.
Right.
And then the pitch is from 2:30 to 4 o'clock. Okay. And then then you do a bonus. I can't write upside down like this. Bonus from 4 to 5. Now the bonus you were going to do anyway, but you just throw it in like, hey, you know, there's been a lot of questions about this, so we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z. And while you're doing the bonus, and if you have somebody who can be doing this with you, helping you out, you take the people who bought your high ticket and you start indoctrinating them then and there. Get their, you know, like, okay, we're going to do this bonus session, but we're going to pick you out one by one. You know, those who bought the high ticket, we're going to get your photo taken. We're going to get your new t-shirt, your swag bag, whatever you're giving them to indoctrinate them into the high ticket. And that way, during the bonus, more people can buy as well.
Cool. Okay.
Now, here's some other little tricksy poos that you can do. You can offer, so that's the day. Other things you can do is you can have VIPs in the audience. And so when you go to lunch and everybody breaks out in their partners, you say, okay, VIPs, come with me. we're going to do our VIP lunch, and we're going to keep brainstorming and masterminding and stuff. My high ticket clients, whatever they're called, whatever your little label is, come with me. Okay. And then also at the end of the day, you have a VIP dinner. Okay. And people can buy tickets for that. And the ticket could be like $250 to $500. You go to a 5-star restaurant, you know, you have some really good food. You know, you got teenagers, so you got to figure out like what the thing is. But you go to the 5-star restaurant, but if they purchase your high ticket, they get to go to that for free. So if they already purchased that ticket before you pitched, you say, look, I'm going to take off that money. Okay, so that's one little tricky poo. All right, let's do, okay, I'm going to do a different model here for you. So let's say your price of your event is $597. Okay, but you're going to give it for free. You just ask that they put down a $100 deposit. Which you will give back to them when they show up at the event. You'll refund that. Okay, so what does that do? Let's say you had like 50 people sign up, right? Times 100, that gives you $5,000 to work with for budget for the event. Okay? And out of 50 people, not everybody's going to show up, right? So like if 40% show up, that's still like over $2,500 that you had to work for on the event. Okay, so that gives you some working capital. Now,
wow, that is genius. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, so now what you do, okay, so that gives you some working capital. When they show up, you have your check ready, all right? You have their check, their $100 check ready, and you put it in an envelope and you give it to them. But you say, don't open this. You gotta hold on to it. Your $100 check is in there, but don't open it. Okay. And after, when you pitch, you can say, okay, bring that to me and bring that check to me, and that's your deposit for my program. Like that will get you in, and then tomorrow I'll process your credit card details. Because that was $100 that they brought, that's extra now.
Because they've already missed it, and it's already gone. So
right.
They're not going to do it. I love that.
Yeah. So
that's your deposit, and then charge the remainder the next day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take it to the back of the room. This goes towards your first payment.
Cool.
Okay. So that's a few different tricks that you can do at an event. Now, you know the perfect webinar and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. So you know how to pitch your high ticket.
I know how to do the pitch, but I'm just, I'm still learning what the high ticket looks like. So yes.
Okay. What does the high ticket look like? Okay. Yeah. So where are your students most struggling right now?
It's about 50 split. 50 of them getting to launch, so the technicality of it, and 50% committing to what it is they want to sell.
Okay. Okay. So here's what you can do. Twice a year, you're gonna rent out an Airbnb mega mansion. You're gonna bring your team because you have an agency,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna get to lunch. You can do a whole weekend workshops where you'll take headshots, you'll take whatever, like you're gonna set up the email sequences. And you'll do fun stuff too that teenagers love to do as well. It's not just gonna be all work.
Kind of like what Chad just did, right?
Yep,
What happened in Washington.
yeah, yep.
Washington,
And you
yeah.
got the agency, so you could easily do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so right there, they're gonna want that. Okay, so that's one thing, like that's, now, another thing that Chad does is you do 3K, 2K, 2K, for the full year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this is, like, I heard him say it a couple of different ways. I don't know if he says, like, you got to earn this back. You got to be making this back before you pay this. You have to earn $5,000 in the first 3 months. Or I don't know if it's $5,000 or the full $25,000. That's the part that I'm not sure about his offer. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I have heard him say that. I kind
yeah,
of feel like
and that's really, so basically what you're doing is you're committing them to 3 months. What I do is I take another 2,000 off, or another 1,000 off, or some, it depends on the person. I take another 1,000, or I make this a suite, like, you pay me $5K today, and I'll give you back $2K for your flights for those live events, for those weekend workshops.
Okay.
Okay, so right there, like, you're giving them all the processes. Now, the other thing they need is a daily kick in the pants, right? Because it's easy to get distracted, especially as a teenager. So one thing I do is I get them on a boxer, and every morning I go out and exercise. I do my morning routines, and I get, like, I'm just driving home from bar class, and I, like, hit boxer, and I'm like, just give them whatever. Give them something, so I'm constantly in their face.
Okay.
And they love that. My high ticket clients love it. They think that's the best thing ever because they get and then you can download those boxers and reuse them for podcasts or whatever, other content.
Okay. I hadn't thought of that. That's a great repurposing tool.
Yeah. So, and then you got all your done for you stuff, right? You got the other things. So, like, I would take 2CCX as a model, but 2CCX, like, still leaves you, it's just learning.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to figure this out for you. So take what you need out of 2CCX and put it into your program. Like 2CCX, I mean, how many people had, Wendy had to sell her car, Wendy in Scotland had to sell her car to fly to Phoenix. It's like, okay, she's in second year 2CCX. She shouldn't have to be selling her car to get to Phoenix. There's something broken with that program if she's doing that.
Right.
Okay. So now the next thing is, I want to read this to you because you're going to stumble with this like I did, or maybe you won't. But this Okay, this is not a book about making money. This is a book about creating wealth. Both words, making and creating, reinforce what I call the work money link, a limiting idea that we will change. A chain will break in this book. Words like make or create suggest that you obtain wealth only through, in proportion to effort exerted. These words imply that wealth comes with primarily, if not through, hard work, through extreme exertion. Okay? So you and I, especially we had agencies, you're used to working hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like this whole limitation with the high ticket, it's like, ooh, this is going to be even harder. And it's really that switch that, no, actually it's funner. It is harder in a certain way, but you show up more. Like you enjoy it more.
Mm.
So.
Is that from the Dan Kennedy book?
Yeah, that's from the Dan Kennedy book. That's the preface. And then he goes in to say something. Hopefully I can find it. Maybe I'll just paraphrase it though. There's two, like basically what he said was there's two limits to like printing your own money. Number one is having a high price, having that high ticket. And number two is asking for it, asking people to buy it. And Eileen always says to put out a high ticket number, not based on like what she's saying or anybody else is doing, but do what you feel comfortable. Because when you go to ask for that high ticket price, you have to believe with every fiber of your body that you're capable of delivering on it, that it is the answer, that it's going to solve all their problems. And
right, I get that.
Have that conviction.
Right. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what I'm working on is just for the live events to get practice. What I'm doing is, so I'm kind of modeling what you talked about. Like, really, I have 4 pages of notes. Wow. Session 1, session 2, session 3. And so I'm practicing each session in front of an audience to get feedback, kind of like they talked about, like the comedian doesn't just go up and tell the joke, he kind of practices it and gets feedback. So I'm doing that. I have a couple of those coming up in the next couple of weeks, and then I'm going to be able to have more confidence putting it all together. How do you feel about, so I have that coming together. I'll have what my high ticket is, the annual coaching for it, right? But I also want to play with the idea of having like a large mastermind, like a weekend mastermind. And how do I alternate between pitching those? Is it one more at the event based, or is one more like selling it online, or another way? How would you differentiate when to pitch those?
Okay, so you have your weekend mastermind.
I'm planning
and your high ticket.
Yes.
Okay, so how much is the weekend? How much is your high ticket?
My high ticket is $25,000 a year.
Okay.
And my weekend mastermind is $7,000 for the weekend. It's a 3-day weekend.
Okay, so if you get this, you get 1 weekend mastermind maybe if you buy the high ticket. And so this, just the mastermind, is a downsell from the high ticket, is what I see it. It's the same audience, right?
Right, yes.
So if people are like, oh, I don't know if I want to commit for that much, whatever, then go, okay, you'd be a perfect for our weekend mastermind. And because you're at this event, we're gonna gift you $1,500 or something like that to pay for your plane tickets or something, whatever you feel comfortable. 500, 1,000, whatever. And then the retail price is $7,000 on your website.
So as you're doing the pitch, say at the live event, and I really want to push my high ticket, do I talk about the option of the 7,000? Because I feel like if I give
you,
7,000,
yeah. So you put it in as a bonus.
yep.
Okay, so it's as a bonus, we're gonna have this weekend mastermind, and we're gonna do this and 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 this, and it's available on my website for sale for $7,000.
I see what you're doing. Okay, good.
We are going to give it to you for free as part of this membership, a high ticket. So, and then for those who don't sign up, I don't know how you catch them to try and just get, like, let them know you can have, like, because you don't want to lose, because here's the thing. Here's the thing with this mastermind. So if they pay $7,000 to show up, or let's say between let's say they pay between, you still can pitch them into your high ticket, and you will take off the cost of the mastermind, and they can still get in that high ticket.
Right. Okay.
So, you could even just pitch them into the mastermind, and then the mastermind pitch them into the high ticket, whatever. That's what Chad does, is he has these weekend small event, big profit, and then there he'll pitch them into his inner circle.
Okay. And I'm thinking maybe if I just have like the order form has that as an option. Like I'm really pushing my high ticket offer when they come back to the table to sign up. If they have questions and they're not quite there, that could be an option presented there instead of it saying it in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Okay. I like that. Awesome. Oh, you're making me so happy. Thank you.
Yeah, right? I know.
Coming together.
Once it starts like boom, 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 boom. And then when you do it, you'll get even more ideas and stuff. But
awesome. I don't want you to go over on time. It's 10:35.
Yeah,
Are you okay?
I have to go live. Do you have any other questions? Anything else? Like you wanted to talk about like mindset and stuff. Are you cool with that? Or
I think I'm okay. I will take any recommendations. It's funny because I have not struggled that I can remember in a really long time with money mindset. And for whatever reason, I think that the confidence from shifting out of agency into something that's newer for me is shaking it.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but you don't usually struggle, so I'm trying to like put it in its place and be mindful of it. But at the same time, I'm like, what the heck? Why is this coming up now? Like, where have you been?
Yeah, so like I didn't have any problems closing projects that were like 50, 100,000. Like I worked in jobs where like it was $50,000, like even $1 million contract was just like done. And yeah, but going to this is like 25,000 and I'm shaking in my boots. I think the difference is because it's coming out of their own personal pockets. And what you have to realize is that they're going to spend that money anyway. They're going to spend it no matter what. Like they're going to spend it on something. They're going to spend it on a Disney vacation, on, an RV, something.
Right.
And this way you're creating a way for them to spend it that invests in their future. And you have to realize that, like you're not taking away, like when a house burns down, that's harder to replace than when $10,000 goes out of your pocket. We all know that. We've all had 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 go out of our pocket, and we were able to bring it back in.
That's true.
Yeah. So money, there's like so much money. I want to show you something before I go. Hold on. It's such a misunderstood abundance. Look at this. It's fake money though. And I have it sitting around so my kids aren't stigmatized by the idea of money. Like, it's like flowers. Why wouldn't you have flowers? Money's a beautiful thing too. So we have money sitting around.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so do that. Like, there's no bad, like, if you have a bad connotation attached to money in some sort of way, or to selling, or to your solution, it's going to come through. Yeah. And you're not going to want to do it because of that negative association. Because we as humans will run from fear or towards pleasure. Mm-hmm. So 100%, this has got to be just pleasure. Make it fun. Like, put piles of money on their tables. Like, let it be all about the money, you know? Right. Let it be unabashed about the money. Do whatever it takes. Like, create your own personal playground there and have fun with it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Because these guys are kids, and you're a kid at heart, and that's what's going to get them, is that this isn't like business, like MBA business. This is business like you guys want to do it. This is fun. Are you going to go to Denver?
Yes.
Yeah, because I bet you're like, what's this all about?
I know, and I'm trying to have a lot of this workshop and the practice of talking to these teens and the parents done, so I can do some kind of pre-event, like for the families that come early.
Yeah.
So even if it's just like, you know, a 1 hour mastermind or something, get them in the framework of like what a mastermind is, why you need to be around your peers, how you can like formulate ideas and support and all that stuff. So
yeah. Even if you just have like, let's meet each other.
Yep.
In your industry, we're going to have a big party sort of thing. That's a good idea. And with like, so what I did in Phoenix, and it wasn't planned or anything, but I stayed with this woman from Holland, and she doesn't have a high ticket. And I'm like, you need a high ticket. And I started met her like 5 minutes prior. You need a high ticket. and you could see her brain like cranking and going, yeah. And I woke up the next morning thinking about our conversation. I'm like, I bet there's other people who want to have this same conversation or want to know this. So I put it in Facebook, who wants to learn about high ticket? And I thought like 5 of us would go have lunch together. There were like 40 of us. The whole lobby was full. Yeah. And I didn't pitch anything. I just gave them tons of value, and I got tons back. So I think like there's some people that go there and they have these little events, and then they like want to upsell you there. And I don't think that's the classiest way to do it. I don't know. You know, maybe they are getting closed, but I know there's one woman who pitched a friend of mine to do a VIP event, and my friend who's new in 2CCX really liked this other person until she got pitched. And now she's just like, I was looking forward to doing business with her. I was looking forward to having fun with her. So like, it's all about the timing, and, you know, let them come to you. Give them value.
Yeah, I believe that. You know, Myron's been talking about it a lot lately, where he said, if you don't act like you need them, they come at you. It's that energy shift, right? Where you're like, no, just this is what I have. This is what I have to share. I don't need you. I would love to talk with you and work with you, but I don't need you. Like that whole, and I'm feeling that. That's a shift too. And it's kind of, yeah, I'm sure I feel like you kind of get me here with like going away from the agency, which is it's my comfort zone. I know how to do it. Like I said, I know how to close them. I know how to into this place that I don't know. I'm trying to, I wanted to get more kids in because I know how valuable it is, but I'm trying to, practice that balance. So it's cool. That's a great idea. If I can, that's what I'd love to do, is have a meet and greet, but make it so much fun. And by the way, it just happens to be about networking and
Yeah.
kids and building a business and
Yes.
the fun that you have with it and kind of do that, I think that's probably a good place to start.
Because think about it, there'll be parents like me who are entrepreneurs, but they're trying to get their kids to be more entrepreneurial. So like the sticking points are, do you want your kid to see what it's like to be an entrepreneur, to meet people? Like, does your kid want to be a YouTuber? Does he want to meet another famous YouTuber? That sort of like, and like if somebody said that to me, I'm like, yeah, I'll take my kid there. He wants to meet other YouTubers. He wants to do this.
Right.
So
Cool. That's
yeah.
awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I know I want to do something, but I just wasn't sure how it was going to come about. So love that.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. So, okay, I'm going to be mindful of your time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome,
I
Brenda.
don't have any questions yet, but something may come up as I start to formulate this plan and get it all in action steps, that sort of thing. So, and again, if there's anything I can do to support you, please reach out. I really want to reciprocate and help you walk across the stage with our little plaques.
I know, right? Let's do it. We're going to do it. Let's take care of the women.
I know. We need to dominate this year in
We
2020.
do.
I would love that.
And
So
do it in the female way, helping each other out
yes,
and
absolutely.
raising each other up.
I love it.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, sister.
I'll let you get going. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.